Hey guys, Ty Griffiths here. You're not going to believe this, but we had to go as far as intercepting CBC's newscast on once again slandering the small businessman, so large corporations who masquerade as government agencies can come and keep a monopoly on business. This one's all about Real Estate Council of Alberta and CBC News reporter Brian Labby. These two, once again, have teamed up to take an individual, Derek Johnson. He is the one getting slandered. Take it away, affected party.
Hey guys, it's Derek Johnson here reporting from Calgary, Alberta. If you're watching this video, it means that I've been recently slandered in the CBC News by Calgary reporter Brian Labby. Now, he sent me an invitation asking if I'd be interested in doing an on-camera interview, but knowing Brian's affinity and the CBC's relationship with the Real Estate Council of Alberta, it made more sense to release my own response. So here it goes. Due to the complexity of this issue and the fact that Brian Labby has been sent much information regarding the Real Estate Council of Alberta that he's not taking into consideration with his story, it's fair to assume he's going to conveniently not report both sides as he has in the past. Now, this video is just meant as an introduction. There's a lot of complexities to this issue. And it's going to be an introduction to many more videos that are going to be released over the next few weeks and few months to further educate the public on the extent of the extortion racket called the Real Estate Council of Alberta. Now, I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but the Real Estate Council of Alberta, otherwise known as RECA, is a private company, and it's a self-governing body that's only allowed to govern realtors and mortgage brokers, property managers, and people that have taken their tests and have signed contracts with that organization. Now, did you guys know that RECA is on a campaign right now to run out every small businessman or any for sale by owner type of organization that's out there trying to better the system? Did you guys know that they have been coming to people's residences, wanting to get into your home, to ask questions and get into your personal business? Okay, this is something that they've been doing for many years, but it's come to a head now because there's a number of people, including myself, who are going to put a stop to it, and we're standing up to these people. So I would ask you guys to come back on a regular basis so you can learn about the truth, and together you guys will learn all about the Real Estate Council of Alberta and their business. Thanks for watching.
Mr. Derek Johnson, thank you for that heartfelt explanation. When it comes down to it, CBC and Brian Labby and Trish Hecky and all the directors, they've been repeatedly contacted. Many people have tried to contact these people with no answer. And this is not due process. If it's up to RECA, every one of us would be paying large commissions, $25,000 sometimes. What's wrong with somebody trying to get away from it? They're slandering small business people who are just buying and selling houses, saying, oh no, you're not allowed to do that. Guys, keep in mind, they have been sent many emails, never answered from the affected party, Mr. Johnson. It is being completely unfair. We have now found many other people out there that they've done the exact same thing to, due to the fact that we've been following this now. Many email communications that he's sending to these people. He's an affected party. They will not answer him. So here we go, Mr. Derek Johnson, take it away.
Hello everybody, it's Derek Johnson reporting from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Just sending out a short little response to the Brian Labby CBC report. If you guys are here watching this video, it's fair to say that you've just recently seen this and viewed it. We've just sent out a channel through the Facebook, and we want to make sure everybody is well informed of what's actually going on here. It is true that Brian Labby did extend an invitation for myself to do an on-camera interview. Unfortunately, Brian Labby has a history of slandering private people in the market, including myself, telling them that they are out there posing as realtors, which is a ridiculous thing to say, considering to be a realtor you need to have their access to their system. The only way to get a listing agreement signed would be for you to actually pay their fees and be one, or drive people around in a car, stop in front of houses and pretend that you can get them into a house. Kind of weird. Anyways, Brian's still having a hard time answering that question of how can somebody really pose as a realtor? And so, by the way, is the Real Estate Council of Alberta. Now, what this is all about, guys, is this. The Real Estate Council of Alberta is trying to tell Canadian and Alberta homeowners that, yes, you have to use a realtor if you're going to buy and sell a house. Yes, you have to pay fees. Yes, you have to be part of our organization, or we're going to slander you and we're going to run you right out of the marketplace. This is what they've been trying to do now for many years to myself and to many other private people in the marketplace. Except we're standing up to them, and we need your guys' help. Really, what we need you to do is follow us at privatesectoract.com so we can teach you what's going on. At the end of the day, this is a very complex matter that involves a lot of situations that have to do with contract. Now, based on the fact that contract is key here, we're going to be sending out many videos over the next few weeks that are going to help you understand exactly what this group, this organization is trying to do. It's very important that you guys know the truth, which is why we're sending it out there. Please follow us at privatesectoract.com, and we'll get you the information as quickly as possible, and we thank you for watching.
Okay, Mr. Johnson, thank you for that. Okay, guys, it's Ty Griffiths. Just checked out this next little spot here. It is explaining what RECA really is in order for everybody to see what are they really trying to do? Corner the real estate market and force the private sector, which is everybody, the general public, to pay large real estate commissions when they don't have to. But they're going as far as slandering anybody trying to get into the real estate industry. Take a look what they really are.
ThePrivateSectorAct.com, that's where it starts, singing our song. What's going on? United we stand strong. Let's have some masters of chambers, email phone. While you're taking the foreclosure, treat it as a casino game. Trio people.
Hey guys! Ty Griffiths, human rights activist right here. Okay, RECA, the Real Estate Council of Alberta. Now really, what is the Real Estate Council of Alberta? What would they really do? What's their responsibilities? What they really do is this: when you become a realtor or a mortgage broker, these people are the ones that you'd be signing over saying, yes, I consent for you to govern me. So in another way to put it, they govern realtors and mortgage brokers. RECA has been doing, they have been tracking down any private person, so they never did sign anything with them. They're not realtors, they're not mortgage brokers, they're just entities buying and selling real estate, which has been around way before realtors have. But at the end of it, RECA now has decided to start calling these people and trying to govern them and slander them and talk with them about, no, you're not allowed to do real estate. Guys, the industry they're trying to protect is called the realtor and mortgage broker industry. A realtor is really, when it comes down to it, really not in real estate. They're driving around, stopping in front of houses, hoping to God people buy it. Now that's not really real estate, but yet they have a benefit. The realtor has a benefit. The benefit is they get to go into this thing called the MLS system and list your home or look for homes for you. RECA has now tried to say that no, they're not governing just them anymore. They're governing everybody, which is ridiculous. The only way anybody can be governed is through consent. And through consent means that, well, if I consent, what kind of benefits do I get for it? Well, that's why the realtors now are actually saying, yes, govern me. The mortgage brokers saying, yes, govern me, because they are consenting to it. Now, when RECA, the Real Estate Council of Alberta, starts to shut down people who are trying to better the system, that is just stopping, that's competition laws, that's monopoly situations, and they're just not allowed to do it. It's called slander. What's really happening is that every time you go to a realtor, you're paying huge commissions. There are private people out there, just like us, private people, the private sector, part of us wanting to go out there and create in real estate, and we are allowed to. RECA is trying to say none of us are allowed to, that they want us paying those huge commissions to the realtors all the time. And if anybody comes in and tries to create a healthy market through competition, well, no way. And they're slandering people. We've had so many complaints now on similar situations and them up and saying, are you a realtor? If you're not a realtor, you're not allowed to do real estate. That is complete misrepresentation, and that is violating a human right, and it's called the right to participate in contract. We are allowed to go into a commerce world and participate in contract. If you say you want me to sell your car or anything like that, any possession you have, all we need to do is enter into contract. That is common law. That is saving our rights. Without that, we would not be allowed to compete in many big industries, which is, of course, very unfair. So guys, Real Estate Council of Alberta, this show is all about you guys sending the complaints now. Remember, every one of us are human rights activists. We go after just institutions or governing bodies, masquerading as institutions. But at the end of it, it really is about the private sector and us helping each other and us being conscious and aware of institutions and governing bodies trying to keep us out of industry. Trish Hecky is the investigator who is bothering all these people. So we need, as the private sector, now that we've had all these complaints, need to send to Trish Hecky and Rika, because Trish Hecky is the investigator that went and starts to slander and call people up saying that, oh no, you're not allowed to do real estate. When we sent her some simple questions, she could not answer. On the Rika website, saying that people are posing as realtors. Guys, you can't pose as a realtor. This is the only way you can pose as a realtor. If you go up to somebody with what's called a listing agreement, and it says a listing agreement because that's you being a realtor now, listing it on the MLS system. If somebody comes up to you and goes, hey, sign this, I'm a realtor and here's my listing agreement to list your home. Well, why would a person pose to do that? That's the only way to do it. And how would you make any money after that? That would just be nonsense. So they've been placing headlines such as, people pose as realtors. It is ridiculous. There's nobody running around with listing agreements trying to list people's homes on their MLS system. Now, another way to be a realtor is to pretend to drive people around, stop in front of houses, and they have a special key that gets them in the house. Now, that's if you're dealing with a buyer. So if some guy comes to you and says, hey, I'm a realtor, get in my car and I'll drive you around, he wouldn't be able to get you in the house anyways. So there's no point in anybody pretending or posing, as they say, to be a realtor when there would be, really what is posing as a realtor? Running around with a listing agreement or driving people around pretending you have a key to get into people's houses or the special little key realtors have. So guys, when they start placing up such slander about the private sector, one of us, just our members, that is outrageous. Remember, the private sector is everybody, every baby, every kid, every person, the private sector, the general public. When we allow governing bodies to place up slander about us, saying that they're posing as something, and they're not. When we looked into it, every one of these people that they're saying posing as realtors are just buying and selling real estate in a capitalist society, and they're allowed to do it. And if they're not allowed to do it, it would create a terrible market for the private sector because there would not be enough competition. So the integrity of any market results of the amount of competition. If you allow a monopoly, such as what Rika is trying to impose now, that you have to be a realtor, to do any kind of real estate is absolutely ridiculous. I know the realtors have only been around since 1960-ish, is around there. Now, how did, before the realtor was invented, how did they trade real estate? No realtor existing before 1960s. Well, what, real estate was never sold? Of course it was, because people were in real estate. Realtors are not in real estate because they're just going to a database and driving people around, hoping God people buy them, okay? But either way, it's about Rika. The Real Estate Council of Alberta is by far stepping over their bounds of even just morality here. Anybody out there, the private sector, is allowed to make a living in real estate, buying and selling houses. If they are not, if they take that away from us, that means they're taking away a basic right. It is, you're not allowed to do contract and participate in contract. Well, that's utterly ridiculous, okay? So, the Real Estate Council of Alberta needs to hear from us. We need to send emails, and guys, we need to complain. We need you guys to complain, and we need you to share, and we need you to like about every one of these institutions that we're bringing to light here. So, remember guys, the private sector app.com is a place that we can use the internet to now show people we're being taken advantage of by institutions such as RECA in this case, and bring it out to the private sector, which is everybody, because we all need to know what the institutions are doing to us. This is about the Real Estate Council of Alberta, one of those institutions taking advantage of the private sector, taking away our rights in order to go and participate in contract and try to force us to pay these huge commissions that realtors are asking. 7% on the first 100,000, 3% on the balance. I do the math, it comes up to $20,000, and all they're doing is listing something on a computer database. Then there's this thing called RECA, the Real Estate Council of Alberta, who only governs them, trying to say, hey, let's try and govern everybody and trying to tell them they have to come and be a realtor to participate in real estate. That is an infraction on human rights in the biggest and baddest ways. Maybe even to bring it to the next level here, Trish Hecky has been sent by these affected parties, the people she's been slandering, all these emails asking her questions on what is her power to do this, and she cannot answer. She doesn't answer. When a person starts to throw these things around and they don't want to answer, and I'm telling you, there's been repetitive emails sent to these people, RECA, their office, Trish Hecky herself. Now we're sending even the board of directors emails asking them, okay guys, Trish Hecky is way beyond now, human rights infractions, and the board of directors needs to look at this. They're not even answering questions, and they even have some of these people up on their website. They have this website called RECA. You could go on there and see a bunch of private people being slandered. When you even have this type of infraction going on, and you don't want to answer any questions, but yet you just continue slandering but not answer any questions, this is when the private sector needs to be brought in, especially when it's an institution. Real Estate Council of Alberta, we need to complain here. We all need to say no. You cannot monopolize the real estate industry by saying everybody has to pay these huge commissions to realtors, whereas all they're really doing is going and putting up on a database and putting a sign in your lawn and having other realtors come around. And I mean, to have to be forced to pay $20,000 to have that done is ridiculous when anybody can go and do this themselves, sell their home themselves. So the number one thing, guys, is complain, then share, then like. We need to complain, share, and like all these so everybody gets around and understands that, hey, Facebook can be used for really good. And once again, RECA is way out of line and found so many people that have been, their human rights have been infringed upon by the Real Estate Council of Alberta and Trish Hecky, and there's a whole bunch of other investigators here, but Trish Hecky seems to be the one that we need to focus on here. So as of right now, remember, we sent Trish Hecky so many emails from affected parties. Affected parties sent it to her, asking her questions. Where do you get this power to be able to do this? And guys, remember, you cannot be governed unless you give consent. Okay, and it's kind of an interesting thing if you think about it, because when you give consent to be governed, you're doing it in exchange for benefits. So what kind of benefit does a realtor get in order to allow RECA to govern them? Why would they do that? The benefit is the MLS system. They get to use the MLS system and see where houses are. It's a little system, but great. If they want to call that a benefit, phenomenal. But you cannot go and govern people and say to the private sector, all of us, you're not allowed to do any kind of real estate unless you're a realtor. That is absolutely ridiculous. All right, guys, so write that, send the email, guys. We need to complain, share, and like. Send the complaint, send this around to everybody, understand what we're doing, go to the website and see and learn that, wow, you're a chief executive officer of a numbered company. Okay, guys, but hey, show is about the Real Estate Council of Alberta, Trish Hecky, and the Real Estate Council of Alberta board of directors not answering questions of people they're slandering. Okay, Trish Hecky is the one slandering them, but the board of directors is her boss. And they need to start doing their job, because one of their employees are completely going all over the place with a wrecking ball to the private sector. And we're not sure if this is what they're telling her to do or what, but at the end of it, we need to get to the bottom of it, and we are. And that's all of us now needing to send the complaint and the email asking, hey guys, you know, you're only supposed to be governing realtors and mortgage brokers because they gave you consent. Please just do that. All right, you can't just come and now slander people in order for everybody to have to use a system that charges the private sector $20,000, sometimes $25,000 to sell a home, plus taxes. Rise. RECA, Real Estate Council of Alberta, they need to get a message from every one of us. If we want to buy and sell houses and sell our own homes, leave us alone, because if we want to use you guys, the realtors, we will come to you. All right, but now going to the next level and saying that no, nobody's allowed to, and have a little group called RECA, the Real Estate Council of Alberta, almost acting like Guido and Luigi in this situation. Really think about it. Hey man, it's our turf. You're not allowed to be putting ads in any kind of real estate thing, or you're not allowed to buy and sell real estate, or you're not allowed to put together mortgages. Hey man, like that's crazy. Of course we are. There is the right to participate in contract. There is a right for every one of us to be able to go in and participate and compete in an industry in order for that industry to serve the people. If that industry is now just taken over, it's like, let's just say a real estate industry, that's huge, right? Bottom line is that that's no longer serving the people, it's serving a very small group of people. If they say that's it, nobody else is allowed to do anything in real estate unless you're a realtor. No buying and selling houses for the private people. That's a whole industry. Okay, guys? So, remember, complain, share, and like. Send the complaint to RECA, the Real Estate Council of Alberta, and Trish Hecky. And I think the board of directors are getting a complaint too now, because nobody is speaking over there after they've slandered about 70 people at this point. So anyways, guys, peace out, Ty Griffiths. Later would be greater. Peace, love, happiness, and the bliss is within every one of us. All right, later.
Treated as a casino game. Real people involved, you have no shame.
We've got another email show for you to show you how institutional lawyers are just running right over us little guys, us just human beings. We have an email here. We want to show you a sequence of events that are always happening in a sense of a morning show for you. We'd like to be showing you emails affected parties, real Canadians, are sending institutional lawyers in every situation, and they're being completely ignored, and their due process is being ripped away. Right now, you gotta remember, an institutional lawyer is supposed to be giving us our due process, supposed to be, talking, communicating, back and forth. So let's check in tomorrow. Later would be great. Well, let's see. Talk to you later. Ty Griffiths here. Make sure you subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. You can learn about the Chief Executive Officer status. This is going to allow you to have the necessities of your life through your bond. This bond makes $400,000 a year, and it's for your necessities of life. Learn more about it. Subscribe. We also have business opportunities for anybody who wants to be a human rights activist and get into the conflict resolution industry. Hit the online education button, guys. And I'm telling you, it will change your life. Ty Griffiths, human rights activist. Remember, we want you to be human rights activists also. So sign up and we'll show where people need help. And if you need help, we're there to help you, because we know where everybody is that want to be human rights activists. Peace out. Ty Griffiths, human rights activist. Peace, love, happiness. Later.
Later would be greater.